And the more film defensive coordinators got on him, the worse he got. Fernando Mendoza had 35 college starts. And the more film people got on him, the better he got. So we're 1 month away. There's been no football since the end of the season. It's time to nitpick the number one pick. At no time during the season, late in the season when they were both playing good teams, nobody thought Ty Simpson is better than Fernando Mendoza. What we thought is, what the hell happened to this guy? He was pretty good early. If you go to their last 6 starts between the two teams, Mendoza completed almost 75% of his throws. And that includes that Ohio State defense, that Miami defense. Ty Simpson's last 6 games with Kalen DeBoer, an excellent offensive coach, with the elite wide receivers, he barely completed 60% of his throws, 7 TDs, 4 picks. So I don't even think Mendoza is a hard evaluation. Combine Matt Ryan if he was bigger, stronger, and a little bit more mobility. So like Matt Ryan and some Daniel Jones. Now, he's bigger, stronger, with a better arm than Matt Ryan. Bigger, thicker, stronger. And he's much more accurate than Daniel Jones. Think of Andrew Luck in terms of aggressiveness. Loves to throw the ball down the field and accurate. So I don't think it's that difficult to comp. I think there are quarterbacks coming out of college that are really difficult evaluations. Dak Prescott. There's a reason he went in the 4th round. His mechanics weren't good. He didn't have a great arm. He was kind of athletic, not super athletic. You know, his accuracy, ball placement was very streaky. That was a hard evaluation. Russell Wilson, even his college coach at North Carolina State, benched him. Said, I'm going to go with Mike Glennon. He was shrimpy. I didn't know if he could see over the line. You had to roll him out. He was small. And Wisconsin had a huge offensive line. You're like, you run around a lot. I don't know if this really works. Well, he ended up being really, really good. Okay? And Dak Prescott came into the league where the Cowboys had the best offensive line in football easily at the time, and Zeke. So that helped. And by the way, Russell Wilson came into the league, and he had the Seattle defense and Marshawn Lynch. So both got some help. Those were hard quarterback evaluations. Really hard. Dak Prescott, Russell Wilson. I never thought Dak would be this good. I didn't think Russell Wilson would be that good in his prime. I don't think Fernando Mendoza is that tough of an evaluation. I think he's a thicker, better arm, stronger Matt Ryan. He's got that deceptive mobility of Daniel Jones, but he's a much better, accurate ball placement quarterback. And he's aggressive like Andrew Luck, but not as talented. He's not as talented as Andrew Luck. And like Justin Herbert, he can be a little stiff at times. But Matt Ryan was a B+ prospect, A-. Daniel Jones was a C+. I mean, Dak was like C-D. So there are surprises. But the Ty Simpson better than Fernando Mendoza. We had Todd McShay on a month ago. I'm not saying he won't go in the 1st round. I have predicted he will. Somebody will reach, and he's better than like Kenny Pickett. He's got a good arm. He moves pretty well. Here's Todd McShay on him.
What's the physical trait that's excellent, that's different? And he doesn't have the physical trait. The other part is the 15 starts, man. It's real. We've talked about it before on this show. Like, there are a couple guys who are superhuman that have 25 starts that are great in the league, Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen. He's not that. I put him at 13 in this mock draft. As of right now, I don't think that's going to happen, but wait for it. Like, I've been doing this 2.5 decades. As we get closer, without other quarterbacks, someone's going to rise. And I could see Ty winning over a lot of coaches in those meetings.
Yeah, this whole conversation is really interesting. Lots of layers here. First off, let's not forget that Mahomes sat for an entire year. Josh Allen wasn't even the original starter until the guy ahead of him got hurt. And then you look at more recent quarterbacks where people had concerns about their level of readiness, Trey Lance, Anthony Richardson, and that hasn't exactly worked out too well. You all know I've been saying this as loud and as clearly as I possibly can, Mendoza, Mendoza, Mendoza. He checks off every single box. And given where the Raiders are right now and the decisions they're making, I love everything they're doing. Truly, absolutely love it. I'm not in a position to just throw out statements like that lightly. I always leave the door open because I try to be as honest as I possibly can, even if I know it's going to annoy a fan base. If there was something I didn't like, I'd say it. I'd say, I really love this, but I'm not here just to feed Raiders fans or anyone else 100% positive spin no matter what. And honestly, I've loved everything the Raiders have done, even when they had to handle adversity, the Crosby situation, all of it. I've loved every move. And Mendoza to me, let's say he ends up not being great. I can accept that. I can accept that because you still made all the right decisions. You didn't try to get too cute. You weren't sitting there saying, we're going to trade the number 1 overall pick, move down, do this and that, and then Mendoza ends up being great. I can't accept that. That would make me so angry. I'd rather draft someone who doesn't end up being as great as you originally thought than say, we're not going to draft him, we're going to do something different, go against the grain, and then watch that quarterback tear up the league while we're left explaining why we passed on him. I struggle with that. So to me, it's Mendoza. Now I know it's funny because Orlovsky is in the mix here. Colin's talking about this now, but Orlovsky has kind of hinted at this before, and now I guess he's been a lot stronger with this take. And listen, I love Dan Orlovsky. I really do. I didn't listen to the whole thing, but I saw he was talking about Ty Simpson with the whole see it, trust it, let it rip framework. That's something Orlovsky talks about a lot. I'd love to know which coach taught him that because it's such a coach thing to say. See it, trust it, let it rip. There's a lot of truth to looking at those things on film. You see the throw, you have to trust it, and you let it go. Any extra half a beat has devastating consequences. If you see it but take a second too long to trust it, then throw it, it's already too late. Or you see it and don't trust it, and now you're moving on to the next progression. It makes me think about something a receiver said about working with Tom Brady. I forget which receiver it was, definitely not a huge superstar, I'd have to dig up the clip. But he talked about how working with Tom was so different than any other quarterback he'd ever played with. Tom's approach was, as soon as you're open, just look at me, put your hands up, and get ready for the ball. There were times the receiver was still running his route, sticking to the choreography, and Tom would just throw to where it was open. The receiver would say, I'm running my route, I'm going where I'm supposed to go, and Tom would say, no, when you're open, just be there. I'm throwing the ball where it's going to be open. The receiver explained that every other quarterback he'd ever worked with wanted the routes executed perfectly, 2 steps here, 3 steps there, everything exactly precise. Tom was like, when you're open, I'm getting you the ball. So be ready for it. Go where it's open. I don't care about the exact route design. Get open, get your hands up, and get ready. That approach alone makes so much more sense, just get open and I'm getting you the ball. And it aligns with Tom Brady's whole foundation, which Bill Belichick has talked about, don't take negative plays, always find positive ones. That's really what it's about. See it, trust it, let it rip. I see it, I trust it, and I let it go. I'm not looking for something better. I'm not going for broke. If seeing it and trusting it means taking a shot down the field, then I see it, I trust it, I let it rip. No second guessing. When you have that mentality, it's great. It's positive. You're in a position to keep moving forward on the field. And you know what I always think about with mobile quarterbacks? I've been screaming this for a while now, especially because I've seen a change in how Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts, etc., run. Just get the 3 or 4 yards and slide. Just get the 3. That's the equivalent of see it, trust it, let it rip with your legs. You see a lane, you can get some gain. I don't care that maybe you could have thrown it. Just get the 3 or 4 yards. That's it. It's okay. 3 or 4 yards and slide. If you get 3 or 4 yards every single play, you're going to win a lot of games. You're going to find yourselves in a lot of 3rd and short situations, which you can convert, or 2nd and 5. Just take the yards when they're in front of you. It's an extension of this see it, trust it, let it rip mentality. Orlovsky seemingly really loves that about Ty Simpson. And the see it part is also about processing what the defense is doing, pre-snap and post-snap. I've emphasized post-snap more, but it's pre-snap too, what the defensive looks are giving you, etc. Now, I know a lot of people are going to come after Dan for this take, and I encourage people not to. I really do. I'll be making a separate Orlovsky clip, probably not today, maybe tomorrow or in a couple days, depending on how the conversations go. But his opinion is solely based on film. I know a lot of people like to dunk on Orlovsky, and I think it's unfortunate because I think he's a great football voice out there. He doesn't really get involved in the hype. His takes aren't meant to be like, oh, I got a good one for y'all, listen up. They're just, this is what I see. That's it. It's not the equivalent of saying Caleb Williams is going to the Super Bowl as a rookie. That's not what Orlovsky is doing. He's not trying to manufacture content in that regard. It's just what he's seen. He's laid that foundation over the last couple of months. I like Mendoza's tape, but I don't love it. He's never been 100% sold on Mendoza. And you can disagree with him, no doubt about it. I just feel like sometimes people get regular sports opinion takes confused with sports analysis. I think you should bring slightly different energy when you're disputing someone's analysis versus someone's opinion take. Josh Allen is the best quarterback in the NFL, could just be an opinion. But when it comes to trying to evaluate and draft a quarterback, I feel like Orlovsky is bringing a little more analysis. If you want to dispute it, totally fair. But I think some of this gets a little crazy. I love how the headline just says NFL analyst calls Ty Simpson best quarterback. We can't say Orlovsky by name, but it's definitely him. Unless there's someone else out there really pushing it, to my knowledge it's Orlovsky who's been on that run. I would not take Ty Simpson over Mendoza. To use the whole see it, trust it, let it rip framework, I see Mendoza, I trust Mendoza, and I let it rip. If Ty Simpson ends up being better, that's something I can accept. I cannot accept going after Ty Simpson, it not quite working out, and then Mendoza just takes over. Mendoza is also the type of person you want to be the leader and face of your franchise. How can you not want him there? I've heard before, I forget which team does this, either the LA or the new regime in Jacksonville, that they don't like to meet players because they don't want personality to get in the way of evaluation. I can totally see that for other positions. Not for quarterbacks. For quarterbacks, you need to know who you're bringing into that building. I've loved everything I've seen out of Mendoza. That's not to say there aren't things to like about Ty Simpson, but I don't see the reason to overthink this right now. Still, it's okay to talk about. It's okay to discuss and unpack. I think it's fair game. And part of my problem with some of the reactions to Orlovsky is that people sometimes disagree so strongly that they act like you shouldn't even share the opinion. I'm never supportive of that. If someone has an opinion that's maybe not as popular, that doesn't mean you should automatically ignore it. And it doesn't automatically mean it's done just to get attention, views, or clicks. That definitely happens all the time in the sports world, undeniable. That's why I'm also trying to encourage people to look beyond that and trust that this person's background isn't about saying the craziest, strongest, most bizarre things. It's about offering analysis. Even if you disagree with it plenty, it's still just an analytical view. That's just the way I'm looking at it right now. I'm a big fan of Orlovsky, so I'll defend his takes. Those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you all think about this conversation around Mendoza and Ty Simpson that's gotten popular enough that Colin is opening his show with it? Let me know your thoughts. I read every single comment. Whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get into some discussions. Let's get into some debates. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We're building an amazing community here, and I'd absolutely love to see you be part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to. Something we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing that. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, it really does help with visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much.